morning. My name is Jason Stricker. I'm the Director of Health Services for Sanger Unified, and this morning is the first day of our testing center for Sanger Unified students. So if a student has symptoms of COVID-19 or is exposed to someone with COVID-19, we're very excited to have the opportunity for a family to make an appointment through their school and come to our testing center and clear the question about COVID-19 as a symptom that a student might be having. When that's the case and we clear the symptom and it's negative, then it's just like any other absence, and a student stays home until their symptoms go away and they can come back. So the way the system will work is a student would contact the school, or if a student has symptoms at school, the school will make an appointment here at the testing center off of S.Academy here in Sanger. And with our testers here using rapid tests that have been provided by the California Department of Public Health, we will be able to give the student a result in 15 minutes. If the result is negative, the student will have a return to school slip that they can take back to their school. We will also communicate electronically to the school that they're negative. If the student is positive, then we will follow up with a PCR test, the 2-day test to confirm, and a student would be in isolation. So we're very excited for this opportunity for students in our community.
And I was wondering if you could explain the modified quarantine that you talked about at school board last night.
Yes. So the opportunity this year is for modified quarantine, which means a student has been exposed to someone with COVID-19, but if they have no symptoms, they can keep coming to school. They just have to test on the 6th day after exposure. So if there's no symptoms, they were wearing masks, then they can come to school. But then we will have a testing date for them on their 6th day here. And that will be the first part of the morning for our students in modified quarantine to come over, get their test done, and then if they're negative, head on to class if it's the calendar days aligned.
And so how is the quarantine, or, I mean, normally a teacher would know if you're bringing them back, they have their slip and they can go back to school. But how is this being communicated to the parents about quarantine, or to the teachers, so the teachers know that these students are being quarantined at home?
Well, parents, the way the system works is you register through an electronic database, and you will get your results for your child immediately. You'll get a negative result via email right after the results have been processed. And then for the sites, the testing center will communicate electronically back to the sites, who can then communicate to the teachers. So when a student returns, the teacher and the administration have confidence that the student has been tested and that's negative, and we don't have any more days out of school than necessary.
So if a student tests positive, the teacher's made aware of that, and then that's communicated so they know they can provide whatever instruction is necessary, right?
Yes, for a positive test that would result in isolation, then again the site learns of that result and the timeline of isolation for the student. So then our instructional support during isolation and quarantine can be put in place.
And then last night you referred to this testing center as a end-to-end testing center. Can you elaborate on that, please?
So end-to-end is a third-party company that's supporting us with this effort. They will be providing some staff to help with the testing as well. They're finishing their training. So this will be a partnership. We'll have Sanger Unified health staff testing, and end-to-end will be the agency that will be helping us as well. They're not quite online yet. We're expecting by the middle of next week that their staff will be on site as well.
And then the kind of testing, rapid test, is it just in the forward area of the nasal, or is it further back on the nasal cavity?
That's a great question. It's the shallow nasal swab. So working with the student, if they can administer it themselves, or working with their parent, it is not a very deep nasal swab. So it's not as intrusive as what the swabs were when all of this started.
Mm-hmm. And then last night you referred to students who were 13 and older could actually come get tested on their own, so that in case their parents work or whatever. Can you explain that to parents?
Yeah, so Sanger Unified is going to continue to have the practice of notifying parents of any symptom that a student may have, no matter what age. However, the system does allow, with permission from a parent, for a student that is 13 and older, so this would more than likely be our high school students, to come to their appointment on their own. They can register themselves on their own if that is what the parent chooses. So there is an opportunity for older students not to have a parent or guardian present to test, although they will be informed, and that will be their decision.
Okay, is there anything you would like the community to know about the testing facility and what the district is trying to do in the face of this pandemic?
This effort is really about reducing the number of days our students are missing school. And the guidelines allow us to test for a symptom, and then it just is like a regular illness. You know, a student would stay home until their illness goes away, until their symptoms go away. But this testing opportunity is all designed around minimizing the days that students are missing school. And that's such a priority for us, and we're very excited to be able to make this service available to students in Sanger.
And I know that you wanted to clarify, the sign says serving staff and students only, but maybe you could clarify that for the community.
So at the moment, we are, because of our inventory from the California Department of Public Health, we really want to ensure that this inventory is used for students. There is a shortage of tests just statewide, and so we're already working to secure more and make sure that the testing center is equipped to have this service be in place all year. So in the spirit of that, currently the testing center is just making appointments for students, but as inventory changes and that changes in the future, the hope would be that it will be able to be used for staff as well.
So at this time, because some staff could possibly be testing, having to be tested because of exposure or whatever, how are they being taken care of?
So currently staff that might that might have symptoms, might have exposure, that is individual conversation about what resources or options that might be available. But the inventory that is used in this space would not be the inventory we would use for health staff, or for our staff.
Okay, any final comments?
No, we're just very excited that this was open, to be 20 days into the school year and to see the needs so quickly and be able to build this and create this opportunity for our families. We're just really excited.
So, and they have to be referred by their school sites.
Yes, so appointments are made at the school, whether you're calling in for your child because your child has a symptom. There'll be an opportunity during call-ins to make an appointment, or if your child has symptoms at the school and is coming through the health space, through the isolation space, appointments can be made that way as well. But there won't be a way to make appointments that's not through the schools.